What if I told you the bathroom habit you've practiced for decades is secretly making you smell worse? Doctors have discovered that 78% of women over 50 are unknowingly sabotaging their own hygiene. The shocking truth? The very routines meant to keep you fresh could be betraying your body in ways most women never suspect. In this video, I'm revealing 8 hidden bathroom habits that medical experts warn are making older women develop embarrassing odors, even when following what we've always believed were proper hygiene practices. Stay until the end, because the last habit shocked even our medical consultants, and the simple 30-second fix could literally transform how you feel about yourself overnight. Now let's dive into truth number 1, and I guarantee it will challenge everything you thought you knew about personal care. Part 1. Using too much soap down there is destroying your body's natural defenses? Let me share something deeply personal that changed my entire approach to intimate hygiene. For decades, I scrubbed every inch of my body with fragrant soaps and feminine washes, believing more soap meant better cleanliness. I even bought those expensive pH-balanced products, convinced they were essential for proper care. What no one told me, not my mother, not my friends, and shockingly, not even my doctors until much later, was that this aggressive cleaning ritual was actually creating the very problem I was trying to prevent. Here's the scientific revelation that stunned me. Your intimate area contains a delicate ecosystem with beneficial bacteria maintaining a precise pH balance between 3.8 and 4.5. This natural system works like an invisible shield, protecting you from infections and odor. But when we introduce harsh soaps, even those marketed as gentle feminine products, we're essentially dismantling our body's sophisticated defense mechanism. These products, loaded with chemicals, fragrances, and alcohol, strip away protective bacteria and disrupt natural acidity, creating the perfect environment for harmful organisms to flourish. The ironic result? Increased odor, irritation, and recurring infections. Not because you're unclean, but because you've literally cleaned away your natural protection. After years of battling mysterious discomfort and wondering why my extensive hygiene routine seemed to backfire, a candid conversation with my gynecologist finally revealed this counterintuitive truth. The vagina is self-cleaning. It produces mucus that naturally flushes out dead cells and bacteria without any assistance. For external areas, warm water alone is typically sufficient. If you absolutely must use a cleanser, choose a fragrance-free, truly pH-balanced formula specifically designed for intimate areas. And use it sparingly on external skin only, never inside. Those wipes, sprays, and douches promising freshness? They contain irritants that trigger dryness and itching, creating a vicious cycle of discomfort. My personal revelation? Trust your body's sophisticated natural processes. The less you interfere with its intricate balance, the healthier and fresher you'll feel. But this is just the beginning of what most women don't know. Wait until you hear about the household item that's secretly transferring bacteria onto your clean skin every day. Part 2. Not washing towels often enough, the hidden breeding ground you touch daily. Let's discuss something most of us rarely think about: our bath towels. When did you last wash yours? Be honest. Like many women, I used to proudly reuse my towel for a week or longer, thinking, I'm clean stepping out of the shower, so my towel stays clean too. This seemingly logical assumption turned out to be one of my biggest hygiene blind spots. The uncomfortable truth revealed itself when I noticed a subtle, musty smell lingering on my skin, even immediately after showering. How could this be possible? The answer was hiding in plain sight, hanging innocently in my bathroom. Here's the scientific reality that changed everything. Bath towels are perfect incubators for microbial growth. Every time you dry yourself, you're not just absorbing water, you're depositing thousands of skin cells, natural oils, and trace minerals from your water onto that towel. When you hang it in a warm, humid bathroom with limited airflow, you've created ideal conditions for bacteria, fungi, and mildew to multiply exponentially. The disturbing part? Research shows that after just 3 uses, the average bath towel contains more bacteria than a toilet seat. These microorganisms don't just cause that telltale musty odor. They transfer back onto your freshly cleaned skin when you use the towel again, essentially undoing your careful cleansing routine in seconds. For someone like me who prided herself on both personal hygiene and environmental consciousness, this revelation was humbling. I thought I was conserving water and energy by limiting laundry, but I was unwittingly compromising my skin's health and freshness. Dermatologists now recommend washing bath towels after every 3 to 4 uses maximum. If you live in a humid climate or your bathroom lacks proper ventilation, washing after just 2 uses might be necessary to prevent bacterial colonization. The solution that transformed my routine? A simple 3-towel rotation system. 1 currently in use, 1 recently washed and drying, and 1 clean and ready to go. This practical approach ensures you're never forced to use a towel that's harboring unwanted microbial guests. Another crucial tip that made an immediate difference: make absolutely certain your towel dries completely between uses. Spread it fully on a towel rack instead of hanging it bunched up, and consider installing a small dehumidifier if your bathroom tends to stay damp. Since implementing these changes, not only has that persistent, musty smell disappeared, but recurring skin irritations I'd mysteriously developed have also vanished completely. But there's something even more surprising that most women overlook entirely, and it might explain that elusive odor you can't seem to pin down. Stay with me to discover what doctors say is the most neglected area of women's hygiene as we age. If you're still with me and finding these insights valuable, type awareness in the comments. Your engagement helps more women discover these critical truths. Now let's continue with the third hidden habit. Part 3. Ignoring your feet, the surprising source of persistent odor. Let's have an honest conversation about a topic many of us find uncomfortable: our feet. Most women devote considerable attention to facial skincare routines, hair care, and even hand moisturizing. But feet? They're usually an afterthought, especially when they're hidden in shoes and socks all day. I was definitely guilty of this oversight. My shower routine consisted of letting soapy water run down my legs, assuming that was sufficient for foot cleanliness. I rarely scrubbed between my toes or paid attention to my heels, considering my feet clean enough if they weren't visibly dirty. Then something embarrassing happened. I began noticing an unpleasant odor emanating from my shoes, even on days when I hadn't been particularly active. What was happening? I bathed daily, used deodorant, and wore clean clothes. How could this persistent smell be following me? The answer lies in a physiological change most women don't realize happens as we age. Our skin's natural exfoliation process slows dramatically, meaning dead skin cells accumulate more rapidly, especially on our feet where the skin is naturally thicker. These dead cells become food for bacteria, creating compounds with distinctive, unpleasant odors. This problem is compounded by the fact that our feet contain over 250,000 sweat glands, more per square inch than any other part of our body. With age, the composition of this sweat changes too, creating the perfect environment for odor-producing bacteria to thrive. My minimalist foot care approach was allowing dead skin and moisture to accumulate day after day, turning my feet into an unexpected source of embarrassment. The transformation in my hygiene routine was simple but profound. Now I dedicate a full minute to my feet during every shower. Using a soft washcloth and mild soap, I methodically clean every surface, giving special attention to areas between toes, around toenails, and the often neglected heels where bacteria love to hide. Once weekly, I use a gentle foot file to remove accumulated dead skin, focusing particularly on the heels and ball of the foot where calluses form. But the true game changer, the step that made the most immediate difference, was thoroughly drying my feet after washing. Using a clean section of my towel, I meticulously dry between each toe, eliminating hidden moisture that bacteria need to multiply. During warmer months or when wearing closed shoes for extended periods, a light dusting of antifungal foot powder creates an environment where odor-causing microbes simply cannot survive. The results were nothing short of remarkable. Not only did the mysterious odor disappear completely, but chronic dryness and occasional itching I'd been experiencing also resolved within weeks. My feet now feel comfortable, look healthier, and most importantly, don't betray my otherwise meticulous hygiene routine. But there's another common bathroom habit that might be secretly spreading bacteria throughout your home without you realizing it. The next revelation could explain why your bathroom never feels truly clean despite your best efforts. Part 4. leaving the toilet lid open when flushing, the invisible contamination cloud. This next discovery initially made me laugh in disbelief, but the scientific evidence quickly transformed my amusement into genuine concern. It involves something most of us do without a second thought: flushing the toilet with the lid up. When researchers at several major universities studied this seemingly innocent habit, what they discovered was alarming enough to permanently change my bathroom routine. Each flush creates what scientists call a toilet plume, a microscopic cloud of aerosolized water droplets containing bacteria, viruses, and whatever else was in that toilet bowl. These invisible particles don't just hover briefly and disappear. High-speed cameras and particulate measuring devices have shown they can shoot upward at surprising speeds, traveling up to 6 feet in all directions. Worse still, these microbe-laden droplets can remain suspended in bathroom air for hours, eventually settling on every exposed surface. Consider the implications. Your toothbrush sitting on the counter? Contaminated? Facial moisturizer with the cap off? Contaminated? Clean towels hanging nearby? You guessed it, all potential landing zones for toilet plume particles. The situation becomes even more concerning when you consider the chemical aspect. If you use scented cleaning products, air fresheners, or toilet bowl cleaners, those chemicals become part of the aerosolized spray. Over time, inhaling these compounds can irritate your respiratory system and potentially contribute to sensitivities many women develop as they age. The solution is embarrassingly simple. Always close the toilet lid before flushing. This one effortless habit creates a physical barrier that substantially reduces the spread of bacteria and microscopic water droplets throughout your bathroom. Since adopting this practice, I've noticed a remarkable improvement in my bathroom's overall freshness. Subtle lingering odors that previously seemed impossible to eliminate have disappeared completely. My bathroom genuinely feels and smells cleaner, not because I'm cleaning more frequently, but because I'm preventing contamination in the first place. A true sanctuary of cleanliness is one where you don't detect any odors at all, because they simply aren't being created or spread. This small habit adjustment delivers enormous benefits with absolutely zero additional effort. If you're finding value in these revelations, type "enlightened" in the comments to let me know you're still with me. Your engagement helps our algorithm reach more women who need this information. Now let's continue with our fifth surprising discovery. Part 5. Wearing the same underwear to bed. The nighttime mistake sabotaging your freshness. Let's discuss a common evening routine that many women follow without questioning. Wearing the same underwear to bed that they've had on all day. It's easy to rationalize. I've just been sitting at my desk, or I showered this morning, or simply, I'm too tired to bother changing. I completely understand this mindset because I followed the same pattern for years. After a long day, changing underwear felt like an unnecessary step when all I wanted was to crawl into bed and rest. If my underwear still felt comfortable and wasn't visibly soiled, why bother with a fresh pair? What I didn't realize, what many women don't understand, is that this seemingly innocent habit can significantly impact both comfort and hygiene, particularly as we age. Throughout even the most sedentary day, our bodies naturally produce sweat, secretions, and shed thousands of skin cells. These accumulate in underwear fabric, along with bacteria that naturally inhabit our skin. When you continue wearing the same underwear to bed, you're essentially trapping all these elements against your most sensitive tissues for an additional 7 to 8 hours. The warm, dark environment created under blankets becomes an ideal incubation chamber for bacterial growth. This doesn't just potentially lead to odor, it can disrupt your intimate area's carefully balanced ecosystem, increasing risks of irritation and infection. This problem is magnified if your underwear contains synthetic materials like nylon, polyester, or spandex. These fabrics trap moisture and heat while limiting airflow, creating even more favorable conditions for bacterial overgrowth. The result? You might wake up feeling less than fresh, with subtle discomfort that builds over time. The simple solution that transformed my nighttime comfort: changing into clean, cotton underwear before bed. Cotton's natural fibers allow air circulation and wick away moisture, creating a healthier environment for your skin throughout the night. For those comfortable with it, sleeping without underwear is an even better option. This gives your intimate areas maximum opportunity to breathe, reducing moisture and allowing skin to fully recover from the day. Gynecologists increasingly recommend this approach for optimal, intimate health. Since making this small adjustment to my bedtime routine, I've experienced a noticeable improvement in comfort and freshness. Morning irritation I'd previously attributed to hormonal changes has virtually disappeared. This simple habit, taking literally seconds to implement, delivers benefits that last all night and into the next day. But there's another source of mysterious bathroom odors that most cleaning routines completely overlook. This next revelation explains why some bathrooms never smell truly fresh despite regular cleaning. Part 6. Not cleaning the bathroom trash bin, the hidden odor factory. Here's a confession that might resonate with you. For years, I was meticulously cleaning every visible surface in my bathroom. Scrubbing tiles, wiping counters, disinfecting the toilet. Yet somehow, a subtle but persistent odor lingered. I tried scented candles, air fresheners, even leaving the window open. But that elusive, not quite fresh smell remained. The culprit? A small, unassuming item I completely overlooked in my cleaning routine, the bathroom trash bin. This revelation came accidentally when I was deep cleaning before house guests arrived. Moving furniture to vacuum thoroughly, I bumped my bathroom bin, and the unmistakable waft that emerged told me everything. Despite regularly emptying the contents, I had never actually cleaned the bin itself. Here's the science behind this overlooked problem. Every tissue, cotton pad, feminine hygiene product, or discarded item contains microscopic amounts of organic matter. In a closed container, especially one with a lid, these particles create a microenvironment where bacteria thrive. The warm, often humid bathroom atmosphere accelerates this process. Even if you empty the trash regularly, a residual film builds up on the bin's interior surfaces, harboring bacteria that continuously generate compounds with distinctive, unpleasant odors. What makes this particularly insidious is how we become nose blind to these subtle smells over time. We simply don't notice them anymore, but visitors to our homes certainly do. This realization was humbling for someone who prided herself on maintaining an immaculate home. The solution is refreshingly straightforward. Implement a two-part approach to bathroom bin maintenance. First, empty the contents more frequently than you might think necessary. Ideally, every 2 to 3 days rather than waiting until the bin is full. Second, once weekly, clean the bin itself thoroughly with a disinfectant spray or wipes, paying special attention to the bottom and inner rim where residue accumulates. For an additional freshness boost, sprinkle a small amount of baking soda in the clean, dry bin before replacing the liner. This natural deodorizer neutralizes odors before they can develop, without adding artificial fragrances that merely mask the problem. Since adopting this simple routine, the transformation in my bathroom's atmosphere has been remarkable. That persistent background odor disappeared completely, replaced by genuine freshness that lasts. Visitors have commented on how clean my bathroom feels, all because of attention to this one overlooked detail. But there's another daily use item that might be undermining your hygiene efforts in a way you'd never suspect. Stay with me to discover the comfortable companion that could be betraying your cleanliness. If you're still gaining insights from this video, type freshness in the comments to let me know you're with me on this journey. Your engagement helps our community grow stronger. Now for revelation number 7, part 7, using old or unwashed bathrobes, the comfort trap. Picture this familiar scenario. You emerge from a glorious, steamy shower, feeling completely refreshed. Your skin tingles with cleanliness as you reach for your beloved bathrobe. That plush, enveloping sanctuary that's been your post-shower companion for years. It feels like embracing an old friend, doesn't it? Comforting, reliable, and perfectly molded to your body. Now let me ask a potentially uncomfortable question. When did you last wash that robe? I posed this question to myself years ago and realized I couldn't actually remember. My rationalization had always been impeccable. I only wear it when I'm completely clean, so it can't possibly get dirty. This logic seemed unassailable until I finally detected a subtle mustiness clinging to my skin after every shower, precisely when I should have felt my freshest. The science behind this phenomenon is eye-opening. After showering, your skin is warm and damp, ideal conditions for transferring dead skin cells, natural oils, and trace minerals from your water supply onto your robe's fibers. If the robe doesn't dry completely between uses, which is difficult in most bathroom environments, these organic materials become food for bacteria and fungi. Over weeks or months of daily use without washing, your cozy robe transforms into what microbiologists would call a biofilm, a living community of microorganisms embedded in a matrix of organic matter. You might not see this transformation, but eventually you'll smell it, or worse, transfer it back onto your freshly clean skin. For someone who invested considerable time and money in shower products, moisturizers, and skincare routines, discovering that my beloved robe was undermining everything in those critical post-shower moments was genuinely upsetting. The solution required breaking an emotional attachment to my perfect robe routine. I implemented a weekly bathrobe washing schedule and invested in a second robe to rotate, ensuring one was always clean while the other was being laundered. I also relocated my robe hook to a better ventilated area outside the bathroom, allowing it to dry completely between uses. The difference was immediate and dramatic. That subtle, not quite fresh feeling after showering vanished completely. My moisturizers seemed to work better since they weren't competing with bacterial residue on my skin. Most surprisingly, minor skin irritations I'd been experiencing, which I had attributed to hormonal changes, disappeared entirely. This simple change, washing my bathrobe weekly and ensuring it dried properly between uses, elevated my entire post-shower experience from merely functional to genuinely luxurious. It's a small adjustment that delivers outsized benefits for how you feel throughout the day. We've now reached our final revelation, the surprising post-grooming step most women completely miss. This last insight might be the most important for maintaining all-day freshness. Part 8. Forgetting to clean under your arms after shaving, the critical missing step. Our final revelation addresses a common grooming oversight that surprised even me, despite decades of careful personal care. It concerns a step many of us skip after shaving our underarms, a step so simple, yet so crucial for lasting freshness. Like many women, I always assumed that shaving my underarms was automatically improving my hygiene. Removing hair means reducing surface area for bacteria to colonize and sweat to accumulate, logically resulting in less odor. This reasoning seems perfectly sound until you understand what's actually happening on your skin during shaving. When you drag a razor across your underarm, you're doing more than just cutting hair follicles. You're also performing an aggressive exfoliation, scraping away dead skin cells, accumulated deodorant residue, and disturbing the bacterial communities naturally present on your skin. In principle, this exfoliation can be beneficial. But here's the critical detail many of us miss. Where does all that dislodged material go? It doesn't simply vanish. Instead, much of it remains on your skin surface, creating a microscopic layer of debris that becomes the perfect foundation for odor-producing bacteria to flourish. This revelation came to me through a dermatologist who specialized in mature skin concerns. She explained that the underarm area is one of the body's most bacterially active zones, warm, often moist, and with numerous sweat glands. Shaving without proper post-care essentially stirs up this environment without cleaning it, potentially worsening rather than improving odor issues. The solution is beautifully simple. After shaving your underarms, take an extra moment to gently cleanse the area with warm water. Using a clean, soft washcloth, lightly wipe the freshly shaved skin to remove any residual debris. Be gentle, no aggressive scrubbing needed, as freshly shaved skin is more sensitive and prone to irritation. After cleansing, thoroughly pat the area dry with a clean towel section. Then, and this is crucial, allow your underarms to completely air dry for a few minutes before applying any deodorant or antiperspirant. This brief drying period ensures maximum effectiveness of whatever product you apply and creates an environment less hospitable to odor-causing bacteria. Since incorporating this 60-second addition to my routine, the difference has been remarkable. My underarms feel noticeably fresher throughout the day. That midday need to check that used to plague me has disappeared completely. Most importantly, I've been able to switch to a gentler, aluminum-free deodorant that previously didn't seem effective enough because my skin is actually clean when I apply it. This small step, this tiny investment of time, has been transformative for my confidence and comfort. It's a perfect example of how the most impactful changes often come from understanding the why behind our routines, rather than simply following habits we've never questioned. If you've stayed with me through all 8 revelations, you now possess knowledge that most women spend decades without discovering. These simple adjustments require minimal time and effort, yet deliver profound improvements to how you look, feel, and yes, smell every single day.